Hines Company. It's the best you can do for your dog. By Timberland, tough enough for the Iditarod. And by Coca-Cola Classic, you can't beat the real thing.
This is Svetlana Boginskaya of the Soviet Union, the '89 world champion, the reigning queen of women's gymnastics. She's ready to go on the beam.
Usually this is an event very difficult to start on, hard to control the adrenaline, but she is very impressive on this event, particularly when she's under pressure. This is her most difficult pass, 2 layouts in a row. Notice how she lands slightly forward in that lunge position. It's a trademark of hers.
No doubt you can hear the music in the background on the floor exercises being performed at this very time. Does that really distract you while you're on the beam?
Not really, Gary. You would not believe the amount of concentration necessary to compete on the balance beam. These gymnasts at this level can truly block everything out. Here comes her gainer layout step out. It's done off of one leg. Slight balance check there. That will be a very slight deduction. When I say slight deduction, I mean very slight. Look at the scores. They're all in the 9-9s. But the important numbers to look at are those thousandths of a point. Here's her dismount. A round off double back. Oh, and a slight little step there. Again, another slight deduction. She had plenty of difficulty in that routine, though not the most difficult in the competition.
Here's something interesting, Kathy. Notice she points her toes when she runs. Talk about the maturity and the incredible polish that this woman has.
We talked about it earlier, form, and it's something the judges really look for, and it's her trademark.
And her score, a 9-9-1-2. So those slight errors you were talking about has given Zemeskal the early lead in the first rotation. While Boginskaya was on the beam, Romanian Cristina Bontas performed on the floor exercise.
And as you can hear, this routine was certainly designed to appeal to the American audience. Watch this tumbling pass. Double layout. That is amplitude. Way up in the air. For all the all-around contenders, she is by far the superior tumbler. This is a nice tumbling run coming up. Watch the full twist right here in the whip back, all the way through to a double back. I have to say this music is completely incongruous to the choreography. It's a very energetic routine, but the music is more like background music and a little distracting, actually.
It's funny, it's obviously designed to get the American crowd into it, but they don't seem to be interested at all. Maybe it's because Boginskaya is on the beam.
Hook gets that, full twisting double back, and perfect landing throughout the routine. Excellent technique.
Bontas of Romania, the floor exercise.
This is that second tumbling run. As you mentioned, Kathy, she does a whip back with a full twist, which is right there. But what's most impressive is watch how this double back just seems to hang in the air.
A score of 9-9-3-7. This is Tatiana Lysenko of the Soviet Union in only her third major competition on the uneven bars.
She has a nice routine here. Watch this mount sequence. Very unusual. Most of the gymnasts here are doing what we call stock routines, all the same skills, but not Lysenko. Nice height on that Jaeger front somersault. Now she'll set up for her dismount, and watch this. It is a beauty. Interesting notice, Betty Okino's dismount, except with a double front half twist. Oh, and what a landing. That is such a difficult dismount, and she does it with such ease.
I don't think we can emphasize enough the polish of the Soviet team. She's going to do the Jaeger front flip here, straddled front. Look at the perfect form. And this is amazing when you're flying through the air, worried about regrasping the bar to keep that kind of form.
A 9-9-3-7. And so the standings after the first rotation, Zemeskal's in first. Bontas and Lisinko tied for second. Boganskaya in fourth, 5/100ths of a point behind Zemesco. And Betty Okino is in sixth. Okino, she missed the U.S. Championships last June because of a fractured elbow and still suffers some pain while performing.
You would never know it on this mound. It's a press to handstand, showing off her strength and flexibility. Everyone is always impressed by these long lines. Her legs are so long. She has very similar skills as Boganskaya. Here's the first one, 2 layout step outs in a row. And here comes something a little different, and she has perfected it. A double turn, very difficult on the balance beam. She's actually capable of a triple turn, which is unheard of. Another strength move. I'm very impressed with how well the American gymnasts have been prepared for this competition. Here comes her dismount. 2 back handsprings to a double back. Oh, and a big step on the landing. That is exactly what you can't do in this competition to finish in the top 3. That is a 1/10 of a point deduction, or it should be.
You can see it on Betty Okino's face, and certainly Marta Caroli there, the beam coach of the Caroli program, realized that you have to stick to landings and you have to show impeccable form. This sequence here of the 2 layouts after the back handspring, although it was very clean, you can see there are some form breaks, slight form breaks. This is a terrific shot to see how springy that balance beam is. As you mentioned, Kathy, there is a spring right there. Boom. Great dismount. The step will cost her, though.
Oh, I'm surprised at that score. It should have been a 1/10 of a point deduction. And even though it doesn't seem like that big of an overscore in a competition this close, that will make a difference.
Christina Bontas, the new star of the Romanian team, ready now to go on her second vault. Earlier, she had a lot of trouble on her first vault. This gave her a 9.325, and so, Kathy, that means she'll have to count the second vault.
This is a highly stressful situation, to say the least. She was tied for second after the first rotation, and she needs a big score here. Much better vault. Slight little step backwards. And really, I think the vault needed to be a little more dynamic and explosive to get into the high 9.9.
She looks relieved, though. It's going to be a lot
say.
better than that 9.325.
While we wait for Bontas' score, let's visit with Svetlana Boganskaya from the Soviet Union. Far removed from Boganskaya's hometown of Minsk, in the Republic of Belorussia, is Lake Krugloye, an hour outside of Moscow, but at the heart of the Soviet gymnastics program. It is the site of the Soviet National Training Center, where men and women from all the Soviet republics have traditionally prepared for major competitions. While Boganskaya is separated from her parents, her older brother Igor, and the family tortoise Masha, the dormitory at Lake Krugloye has become a home away from home. Isolated for the time being from the radical changes underway in her country, ones that may prove to be the only thing that can stop the Soviet gymnastics teams. Boganskaya getting ready now for the floor exercise. Christina Bontas' score on the vault was a 9.887.
This is an opportunity for her to move ahead of Bontas. This is where she reigns. So easy to watch this routine. Watch how she almost dances her tumbling run. Very elegant. Compared to Bontas, she doesn't have nearly the difficulty in her tumbling. But her choreography works with the music, not in spite of. There's an area where Bogenstein has really improved, added some difficulty in this middle tumbling run. Full and a half twist, through to a double back. Be a pike double back. Look at the straight legs, pointed toes. Beautifully done. Hard to find deductions in that routine.
And as we mentioned, she really has upgraded her difficulty to keep up with the little hot shots like bone toss. In this pass, she's going to do a 1.5 twist right here. Now, where she used to do a backflip with a double twist, she's added a double backflip instead. Well done.
A 9.950. When we come back, a first look at Shannon Miller of the U.S. and her leader, Kim Zmeskal.
Coming up, the race from Ank's Wide World of Sports continues with the World Gymnastics Championships from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Our coverage continues in the women's all-around. This is Shannon Miller, the 14-year-old from Edmond, Oklahoma, the floor exercise.
And this gymnast takes competitive risks, meaning she throws everything she's capable of. At this first tumbling pass, it'll be a whip back through to a full twisting double back. Watch now. Here's the whip back, full twisting double back. What I really like about this gymnast is though she's not as physically powerful as the Kim Zmeskal, she comes up with even more difficult tumbling passes.
Perhaps that has something to do with her coach, Steve Nuno. He really is very aggressive. Bella Caroli, although his gymnasts are very consistent, they take very few risks.
Here's another full twisting double back. Now you can see she doesn't get quite as high in the air as some of the other gymnasts, but nonetheless she can perform the skill. It's a sign of good, hard training. Will be a pike double back. All the landings have been pretty solid in this routine. Here's another good landing right here. Very well done.
Shannon Miller.
When you watch this competition and you try to compare these top gymnasts, it shows you why judging gymnastics is so difficult. Sometimes it's like comparing apples and oranges.
And it doesn't appear at just 4 feet 6 inches high and 69 pounds that Shannon Miller would have the power to complete this move. The reason she can make it is she has great technique.
And here's her score. Shannon Miller with a 9.862. And the crowd not happy with that score.
But that was an appropriate score. The landings were not perfect, and some of the dance elements were not quite as clean.
While Miller was performing on the floor exercise, Tatiana Lysenko of the Soviet Union was getting ready to go on the beam. She is the all-around World Cup champion, tied for